Hey guys, it's Marc the Bruin from simplifyinglife.com.au. Today, a slightly more spiritually oriented video rather than a typical evidence-based counselling one. I'd like to introduce you a bit more thoroughly to a book of knowledge or a wealth of knowledge called A Course in Miracles. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the origins of it and how it came about, but more about the content of some of the stuff. It's a way of looking at life. It's a thought, a book of thought. It's a system of thought that allows us to look at life a very different way if we choose to follow that system of thought. I was reading part of the textbook of A Course in Miracles and was really impressed with one of the passages in there that was talking about littleness and magnitude. Now, of course, interprets that littleness as us looking at life from a small point of view, as in we consider ourselves small and we think we are not worth more than what we think we are. So we all play little to a degree. Of course, says that's part of our worldly, whatever you want to call it. What's the word? The paradigm. The world in itself is little. So if we think that in the world and through the world and the people and things in it, we can find more, we can find a magnitude, then we are mistaken. That's pretty much what the Course says. As soon as we try and find magnitude, the better version of us outside ourselves in things and people and places, then we got off on the wrong foot. Because the magnitude actually is us. It's never anything else but us. And I'll read part of the passages. I've got the Course on my lap here. But it talks about, when you strive for anything in this world in the belief that it will bring you peace, you are belittling yourself and blinding yourself to glory, the glory that the Course talks about. And I thought, geez, isn't that appropriate in the counselling world as well? I often come across people who want to do more, who think they can do more, who have been suffering for whatever reason, and think that that is the limitation of what they have to face now. They can't do anything else. And the Course actually says, well, that's not true. It's not true. But in order to start living the magnitude and glory that we are, we need to accept the fact, and accept it gladly, that there is no form of littleness that can ever content you. So we cannot find that peace or contentment or magnitude outside ourselves. We have to start accepting that and actually start looking in. So another part of the Course that says, every decision you make about yourself and a decision in life stems from what you think you are, and represents the value that you put upon yourself. So every choice you make is a reflection of who you think you are and what you think you are in relation to that, whether you play big or small, whether you play tiny or whether you play magnificently. Now, I found that in counselling as well. Most people, and look, I'm as guilty of anyone, we play small to a certain degree in some areas. We have doubts, we have worries, we have things we're not confident about, we have things that we think we can't do, that we're incapable of doing. We have rejection of ourselves. We find other people's opinions about ourselves important, even if they're negative, and we take them on board, etc., etc. We all do that to a degree, and it's okay. It's just not who we are. And that's what I firmly believe, and that's why this piece of Course resonated with me so strongly, because it actually says you do not have to strive for magnitude. You don't have to strive for it. Why not? Because you're already it. It's already you. You are already magnificent. What it does say, and I think that's part of the truth of this piece that I was reading, is that we do want to be vigilant and want to be aware of striving. No, let me put that differently. What the Course says we want to be aware of is not playing little. So all our striving should be directed at stopping littleness, not making ourselves small anymore ever. Keep playing big. It requires vigilance, of course, says, to protect your magnitude into this world. And so, simple terms, every day in a very mindful way, you want to be aware of whether what you're doing now is lifting you up or putting you down. Whatever you are saying about yourself, other people, things, situations in the world, are you making a judgment call? Are you taking a decision? Are you taking a step that actually lifts you up?